It would be great to have someone who could do our work for us, right? Someone to prevent us from making mistakes. Someone to assist with our routine professionally and allow us to devote our time to communicating with our closest people. If only we could get results without wasting our time for nothing. Unfortunately, it's impossible in real life. But wait, Light Forex Social Trading. Spend your time doing what really matters to you.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. 8 a.m. CET, 16th of July 2019. Piotr here, and this is a pre-London Open live market coverage on Light Forex global YouTube channel. Hopefully you are doing well. Hi Mer, good morning. Let's start with a risk warning, guys. Please bear in mind trading effects on margin. Trading crypto on margin carries a high level of risk, may not be suitable for all investors. You can sustain a loss of some or all initial investment. So please do not invest the money that you cannot afford to lose. Seek education, gain experience before risking real money. However, past performance doesn't guarantee future results. All right. So we know where we are after the risk warning. So let's have a look where we are. In terms of the charts. As usual, we are going to start with the calendar. Nothing extraordinary yesterday. We had Empire State Manufacturing Index from US. It was really good. It was better than what market was expecting. Then during the last Asian session, we had consumer inflation from New Zealand, as well as minutes from the last RBA meeting. And it was very interesting combination of strong inflation data, 0.6 quarter to quarter, 1.7 year to year from New Zealand, and the dovish minutes from RBA, right? RBA is gonna to look through the labor market. Jobs, looks like the job data is gonna be important, and there are possibility of some adjustment, and of course market's takeaway is that we might have another cut, right? So if you remember, after last cut, Riley off the bottom in Australian dollar, we were discussing this, that was possible the best thing to happen when the expectations was about the 2 cuts, but right now, well, maybe we have to adjust our own view on Australian dollar. There are gonna be plenty of time, if not now, then this afternoon, to try to discuss the Australian dollar. Today, right now, ahead of the London Open, we are going to go briefly through Kiwi and Aussie. Don't forget, today we are going to meet again during the London session, 10:15 a.m. CET, 9:15 a.m. London, or 3:15 a.m. Eastern. We are going to cover live. UK data, UK job market. So you are more than welcome to join me again within the next 2 hours and 10 minutes, 10:15 a.m. CET. I'm not sure if we are going to wait for the German ZEF index, but that's what we have during the London session. So we have UK job data and German ZEF as a top numbers, right? Then we also going to cover live US retail sales. So we are going to meet this afternoon, and at as far as I remember, it's gonna be at 2. Sorry, 2:15 today. A little bit later, 2:15 today. We are going to cover US retail sales. At the same time, around the New York Open, we are going to have the speech of the Bank of England Governor Carney. 2:30 p.m. CET, 1:30 p.m. London, 8:30 a.m. Eastern, retail sales from US, then followed by 45 minutes later, followed by industrial production capacity utilization rate, and at 7 p.m. CET we have Fed Chair Powell, and around the end of the New York session, FOMC member events. So it looks like it might be a busy day today. So let's try to check what we have based on our chart. So let's start because of what we've seen during the Asian hours. Let's have a look what we have on the Kiwi dollar. Here, daily chart. We are trying to get back and push through 67.35, 67.40, right? So if you remember, that was the old range. We fall through, retest the possible demand here at the bottom, right? And we're trying to recover, trying to get back and push through 67.35, 67.40. One of the reason, strong Kiwi data. Anyway, what is important here that we are testing some very, very interesting supply levels based on the trading range we've seen on the 12th of April 2019. All right, so we are trying to push right now through. There was some stops taken out yesterday because of the data. We are trying to push through. Of course, the whole day is as a range here, right? The next level is that's the 12th of April. The next level is 16th of April low. Broken shadow over here. That's what we are testing right now as well. All right, and if you are going to manage to close the day above these levels, I think that the bulls will push higher towards 67, 90, 60, 68, if not top of the range around 69.30. So key levels here. Very curious what's going to happen. Strong right now, but is one piece of data enough to push it higher, or maybe we are going to overall see weaker US dollar? That would help here. In case of the failure, in case of the break, in case of the failure, move back and daily close below 67.25, 67.20, that might be treated as a failure, as I mentioned, and we might get back and try to retest at least 66.70, 66.65 as a first level. In case of the break of this, we might revisit 66 psychological level, right? So very important right now where we are watching and monitoring very closely. How the neighbors are trading. So Aussie Kiwi, because of what we get, as I mentioned, strong and Kiwi data and dovish RBA minutes, and we are testing possible demand zone. We are testing again around 104.40, 104.50, right? In case of the break through this level, right, I think that we might see I think that we might see levels closer to 103.60, 103, right? So yeah, that's gonna be challenge for bulls here to hold this 104.50, 104.40 zone. Especially it was tested a few times already. So yeah, we will see. I think that move down towards 103.50, some kind of the spike to the downside. We were talking about that some time ago. Might be here some buying opportunity. I don't think we are going to have a huge difference at some point. Again, one piece of the data, unless we are going to get some better QE numbers next time, right? For now, 104.40, 104.50, and if we are going to get below that level, 103.50, 103 zone, the lower one. To the upside, I think right now, here is the challenge, Friday high, Monday high, combination of Friday high, Monday high, and in that case we are talking right now about levels closer to the psychological 105. That could be the case, Mary. You're right. We are going to switch to Australian dollar in a second. So it could be very narrow range here. If we are going to try to hold 104.40, 104.50, and to the upside 105. And finally, let's switch to the Australian dollar. As Mer mentioned, dovish minutes, but we didn't quite move here on Aussie dollar, right? So looks like market likes V formation here, right? So we have one V formation, we have second V formation, and we are trying to create third V formation, right? I've been thinking about cup and handle here, but it was broke to the downside. Now, where we are now on Australian dollar, I like the levels we are right now, okay? Because we are finishing the business related to what we've seen on the 4th of July, right? So beginning of the month. For sure, there are stops above, but immediately we have another possible supply based on what we've seen in the late April, right? In that case, we are talking about 70.60. So again, we are back to the discussion about 70.50, 70.60. Above, if you are going to look for liquidity, we are talking about the range from 8th of April. In that case, we are talking about levels closer to 71. Now, if we are going to take out these arrows and we are going to place this type of the line, right? So it looks like we have some connections to the horizontal levels, as you can see. So it might be the game about these levels 70, 60, 70, 70. Okay. What I would like to see as a bear, if you are an Australian dollar bear, you want to see some kind of the stop count, some kind of the penetration and rejection. So we are going to have 1, 2, right? Again and again and again. 1, 2. So we were able to draw this line. We need some kind of the price action to prove either we are going to hold that line. So I want to see them attempt to move higher. Upper shadow, rejection. That's for bears. In that case, first target gonna be retest of this lower trend line, right? But because of the third point is gonna be touched first, I think we might see even lower levels. In that case, in case of Australian dollar, the levels closer to 69.30 or the levels closer to 68.50. Okay, so that's how I see the things. If you are a bull, if you are a bull, either strong move without looking back. I don't think it's going to happen. So I would prefer to see without the first touch to the upside. I would like to see some kind of the small pullback from here, long in time, few days. First, third touch to the downside and ready to go. Retest, pullback, rally off that level. So that's how I see eventually Australian dollar from both bulls and bears perspective. All right, so we covered Kiwi, we covered Aussie. Time to cover other majors: euro dollar, pound dollar, dollar yen, and let's say we should have a time to discuss euro pound as well. We are going, of course, because of we are covering UK market later on. There are gonna be some time to discuss pound, but let's go briefly through all majors. Euro dollar, nothing extraordinary right now. We saw this, so we are talking about the possible supply based on this 4th of July, where the US was on the bank holiday. We tested that level or that zone last Thursday, rejection, then we made the pullback towards 1240, right? With a quite good close. Yesterday retest and again rejection. So right now this type of the price action is telling me that probably we can expect this type of the range, at least towards the ZEV or US data, right? So we have like 45 pips range. So either break to the upside and to the downside. In that case is possible. I still expect we are going to see higher levels and then rejection, right? Because we have this over under to the left, which might be played out, and yeah, if we are going to double that range, that's where we should get. So this stops, this liquidity, we are talking about the 3rd and 2nd of July, right? So I think that's where we are going to go to try to test it, and then eventually to see the pullback. In case I'm wrong, in case the bears will try to push lower first, for example, because of the weak ZEV German index, and we will try to double the range to the downside, right? In that case, we have the combination we were discussing. So the bottom from the 10th of July, bottom from the 9. So we do have this swing low here, right? So that's what I think the retest of 112, 111.80 maybe, right? So probably we are going to try to hold that bottom here. Very narrow range. I do not expect fireworks in case of the breakout. Another 40 to 50 pips, either rally or after the breakdown move to the downside here on euro dollar. Pound, very important levels. So there was a strong move Thursday, Friday, fighting with this supply based on what we've seen at the very beginning of the month. Again, same as euro dollar, 4th of July. Thursday strong rejection, Friday strong close into that. Been expecting more fireworks, to be honest with you, but it was even not stop count here on the pound inside day anyway. So the Friday open, Friday low, this kind of the price action over here, that's the key right now. So after yesterday rejection, we're trying to hold this 25.10. Tokyo consolidation, we'll see. I'm very curious what is going to happen. Bears, they just need to break through this level, right? They just need to break through and close below 25, and much lower levels are possible. But I saw this type of the combination a few times already. I'm not gonna be surprised over the course of the day today, maybe next 2 days, we are going to finally break this 25.80 and rally off that level towards the top of that range, towards 27 plus in case of the pound. So watching carefully current price action and the daily close today is gonna be important. Dollar yen, that's what we discussed yesterday and on the previous week. Line in the sand for bulls, hold yesterday with upper shadow but still positive body at the end of the day. We have fireworks on US indices, that's what we are going to discuss later today. So that's supporting a bit here. Very important, again, 107.80 down to 107.50, break below and close below 107.50. It's gonna to add into that bearish view. We are trying to consolidate. Some may even argue we may try to build something similar to inverted head and shoulders. I'm not touching this one right now. I wanna see either move to the upside above yesterday high or break to the downside below yesterday, this double bottom. Something looks like double bottom based on price action we've seen yesterday and Friday, right? So very narrow range. I'm not touching this right now. Watching, we will see, right? You have to make the measure in case of the breakout. As a bear, you know, you want to wait a little bit to see if there is a rejection or no. Straight move to the downside, daily close below 107.50, as I mentioned, adding into the bearish view. Euro pound, very interesting, and we were discussing this. I've been explaining, if I'm not mistaken, I've been explaining this yesterday. And I mentioned that this trend line through the connection of the tops, right? It's not, and we saw the breakdown, attempt to break down, right? But I've mentioned I don't buy it. I haven't seen clear stops to the upside, so we are going at back. Boom! Yesterday, strong price action to the upside on euro pound, and we are shy of the high. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna place the line around the high. What was it? 90.10. And in case of the higher volatility at the beginning of the Tokyo session, still we have 40 pips, 45 pips to go there. That either gonna be the attempt to break down on the pound USD, or we are going to see strong euro dollar rally. Anyway, I wanna see some kind of the stop hunt and rejection, and that would be much easier to try to be on the short side here on euro pound. Okay, a little bit of the break, just 30 seconds, and we are going to discuss oil. Okay, so what we have on the oil side looks very interesting from the daily chart perspective where we are right now. First, to the downside, we broke through important support. And why it's so important? Because we broke it right at the very beginning of the week, right? So strong break through this previous tops over here and here. Here and here, so there was attempt to break higher, double doji breakdown, breakdown below 59.65, right? So from now, I think because of this breakout candle, I think the possible support, possible demand on the oil is gonna be at the bottom, of this candle. That's the first thing. And this base, right? Because there was a pullback, rally, and we hit the supply. So I do expect this type of possible demand here. So in that case, we are talking about the whole zone, 58.30, 57.20. It's a $1 wide range, but it's a daily chart. So that's how I see from the daily chart perspective. So because of this breakdown, because of what we have right now, we are retesting this, right? So again, I've been talking about this few times. I do prefer trade oil during the US session, right? US hours. I'm watching during the London session, and I'm not saying it's like working 100% of the time, but usually, maybe not usually, but specific times, the price action over the London session is totally opposite what we are going to get later on during the New York session. It might be, again, it doesn't mean it's working 100% of the time. It's not. Just very important, but because of this specific price action we have right now, I think it might be the case over the course of the day. So let's have a look what we have. We have retest, but for me nothing extraordinary here. I would like to see, because of this price action of this candle, because of this price action, I would like to see the break below and retest. So that's here on the hourly, that's for me. I do expect some demand visible here on hourly. Now let's switch lower if we have something on a smaller time frame because of this breakdown. Yeah, we have something here. And after the breakdown there was a retest, sell-off, base, breakdown. Okay, so that's what we have here. So very narrow range. I would love them to see below. I would like to see the consolidation. Then what I would like to see at the very beginning of the New York session, if that's gonna be the top of that range, I would like to see very early New York attempt to break, immediately rejected. Just the one thing, don't forget API later today after the New York close, and tomorrow official EEA. So we are going to, of course, we are going to watch oil this afternoon. Gold still inside quiet white intraday range, and right now we are in the middle of that range. Okay. To be honest with you, all possibilities, all scenarios are open here. If you are a bull, you want to see attempt. If you are a bull, you want to see attempt to break lower through the line to test bottom of that range, even to break through and test 1365 possible demand based on a daily and strong rally of that level, right? If you are a bear, also you have to be patient, right? You want to see this intraday price action to the upside. You want to see market is looking for liquidity above the top of that intraday range, hitting the blue zone, so we know it's a supply based on the possible supply based on the weekly chart. And from here you want to see strong sell-off, right? So we are in the middle of the nowhere, no man's land. So yeah, just to wait. We are going to discuss indices this afternoon. So in case of the pre-London Open comments, that's it from me today. Within the next less than 2 hours, 1:45, we are going to cover UK job market live here again on Light Forex Global YouTube channel. So you are more than welcome to join me 10:15 a.m. CET. That's it for now. Don't be trapped. It was my pleasure as usual to be with you here, and see you around.
It would be great to have someone who could do our work for us, right? Someone to prevent us from making mistakes. Someone to assist with our routine professionally and allow us to devote our time to communicating with our closest people. If only we could get results without wasting our time for nothing. Unfortunately, it's impossible in real life. But wait, light Forex social trading. Spend your time doing what really matters to you.